Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In the Mixer, episode 177 of our Isle of Man series. Apologies, I know we're running late. I know you're expecting this episode yesterday. Life gets in the way sometimes. But we're still going to hit our 5 episodes this week. We'll get a bonus episode on Saturday. I promise I will make it up to you guys. Hopefully, starting with 2 very good results in today's episode. Let's jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. So, as you guys can see, still sitting top of the division, but we have been reeled in just a little bit. I think in yesterday's episode, we were 12 points clear at the time. We've had a couple of results which weren't great, including a game against second place Manchester City, which didn't go our way. But we are still 7 points clear. Our goal difference isn't as good as theirs, but I think we can pick it up in the run home. And we're into the last 12 games of the season, and I do think we do have the best run home of the top 4 sides as far as results and fixtures are concerned. Of course, in yesterday's episode, we played Manchester United and won 2-0, a very good performance. We beat Fulham 5-0. Then had a 2-2 draw with West Ham, kind of out of nowhere. We were actually 2-0 down in this game and then came back very late on. Ruben Martinez and Rivera getting the goals to get us through. Schaefer had a poor game. Paul Harrell picked up a knock, which is disappointing. He's had a very good season. We did manage to get beyond Leicester 2-0 in the Premier Division though. Pablo Rivera and Carlos Andre with a late strike securing the points. Before we played Manchester City at home. Now, if you're familiar with Alan Vasher, if you're a long-time viewer of the series, you'll know him because he scores against us every time we play Manchester City, it feels like. 5-star current and potential ability. He was very good. He got a double in the game. We were in the match for quite a while. Maybe I made the wrong tactical adjustments. They scored in the 77th minute. They scored in the 87th minute. But otherwise, it was relatively even. I do think it could have gone either way. The adjustments we made, Medjugorje, Balde, Martinez coming on, they didn't play particularly well. Schaefer again struggled. Rivera didn't have a great game. Carlos Andre, Furkan Yilmaz, we just didn't really get that much going in terms of the output for the overall squad. So I'm not going to panic about that one defeat. Yes, it shortens the gap, but we are still, 2-3 games clear. 7 points in total, so it's nothing that we have to worry about too much. In today's episode, we're going to have quite a bit of football. You're not going to see all of it, but we're going to play, as the games that you see, the first leg of our Champions League knockout round away to Valencia. We're going to play the second leg as well at home, and we're also hopefully going to get, in today's episode, the draw for the next stages of the knockout rounds, hopefully. In between those games, we're going to play Leeds in the Premier Division, Brighton in the Premier Division, Newcastle in the Premier Division, and Leeds in the FA Cup 5th round. So some big games, big fixtures. We'll bring you those results as we kind of get through it to bring you up to date on how the run home's going. You're not going to see those individual games because I think that's too much, but that is going to bring us within 9 games of potentially the title if the results go our way. Now, as far as the squad's concerned, we have got a couple of knocks that are starting to pile up just a little bit. I mentioned Paul Harrell had got injured in the previous game. He is working his way back to full fitness. I don't think I'm going to risk him for this first leg. I think we are comfortable putting Mateo out there on the left wing. But maybe for the second leg, we can get him back and fully fit and ready to go. Hisham Haji's also got a knock. He's out for about a week. He won't play in the first one. He wouldn't have really anyway, to be honest with you. And Isaac too is also out, but I don't think either one would have started if we had a full strength lineup available to us. Otherwise, it's pretty much full strength. We don't have too much to worry about. So I'm hopeful that even though we are playing away from home, we can get a good result and we can carry on and press home an advantage in the return home fixture as well. Tactically, we're going to make an adjustment. We're going to drop back to our positive structure, play a little bit deeper away from home, hopefully invite them onto us, leave a lot of space behind and able to counter-attack it against them quite effectively. Looking at the other fixtures, there are some big matches. Bayern Munich versus Juventus jumps out at you immediately. Atletico Madrid playing Roma would be an interesting one to see. Inter PSG is huge. City Real Madrid, I think, is the biggest tie remaining. We're going to keep an eye on City getting through against Madrid, United getting through against Schalke, and maybe Chelsea getting through against Feyenoord, seeing how many English sides continue through late into the knockout stages. But really, our focus should be beating Valencia, getting off to a good start, and hopefully winning the leg. So, as we see things here, we've got Mancini in goal, Abdesamad and Esteban as the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre at left wing back, Lucas Gabriel at right wing back, both of them sitting on yellow card suspensions. If we get a good result, I'm not going to be annoyed if they get yellow cards for the second leg. That would be fine. It would probably be good to kind of reset their yellow card counts anyway. Santana and Henry will anchor midfield. Mateo, as we discussed, fills in as the inverted winger on the left-hand side. Castro is the inverted winger on the right. Schaefer, still our leading scorer in this competition. He'll play at the 10, and Rivera wears the captain's armband and leads the line up top. Looking over at Valencia's squad, Valencia have a really strong record of developing really good talent. They've got Cardio, who's over at Manchester United. Bakayoko, who was at Chelsea, another Ivory Coast international, came through at Valencia. I don't think we've picked up anyone directly, but they continually seem to be bringing through and developing their own talent. Juanjo Castro, left winger, inside forward on that left-hand side, 25-year-old Spanish international. He's come through their academy. 255 appearances and 102 goals is very impressive for a 25-year-old player. An elite striker, 4-star current and potential ability. He looks to be very decent and has the highest average rating so far this season. They've got Alexander Dobric, who has the most assists so far this season. Serbian midfielder came through Radniki, Teleoptic and Partizan Belgrade before making the jump to Valencia 6 seasons ago. Again, solid, but not super spectacular. I think we can deal with a player of his quality. In goal, the captain, Bebeto, is a Brazilian, 17 cap international, 32 years of age for the keeper, 4-star current and potential ability. Solid, but again, not spectacular. He was actually at Southampton for a few seasons as well. We wouldn't have played him. He's been at Valencia now for 8 years. It was prior to our time in the Premier League. But they've got a solid squad. Solid, but not spectacular. I think we should be beating the likes of Valencia. I think the draw was kind to us. Assertively, we're going to say, expect to see much better performances tonight. We want to try and pick ourselves up after that poor result against Manchester City. But again, 2-0 looks bad, but it wasn't that bad a game. They scored twice in the last 15 minutes. We did have chances early on, and we did kind of hold our own against them. It's just when you play quality sides, they only really need a couple of chances to put a few goals behind you. Speaking of, Valencia have gotten goal side here. Saidi puts the ball back. It's a great header from Lucas Gabriel. He had a lot to do. And a lovely pass there from Castro sends Schaefer goal side, and he finds the finish. First highlight of the tie and the match. 23rd goal of the season for Uli Schaefer. Lovely counter-attacking football. It all started with that Lucas Gabriel header away. He was one out against two men. Clears it to Castro, and then Castro just looks long over the shoulder. Schaefer brings it down perfectly, gets it on his favoured left foot, and just slides that one back across the keeper for a 1-goal advantage. Wide corner taken and claimed by Bebeto. A very quick corner there from Lucas Gabriel. Long ball forward has left us 2v3 at the back, but he skips past one challenge. Castro gets to a good position. I think that drive might have been going wide, but Mancini does get a little bit on it, sends it out for the corner. So there's still a counter-attacking threat here. Header's cleared away. Saidi with another chance to play it to Dobric out wide, and then the flick on header straight at Mancini. Didn't have that much pace on it either. So still a concern, still a bit of a danger from Valencia. We're going to use a demand more shout with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. 2 additional minutes to be added on. We've got a very deep throw in here. No one pressing Henri. They seem to be dropping off quite a bit as well. Lucas Gabriel in possession, across to Esteban. Desmard works it side to side. Looks for a switch out, but it wasn't quite there. Dobric recovers the ball in midfield and looks for the switch out to Castro. Knocks it down for Saidi. He's well offside when that header came in. This one will get ruled out. And as it's brought back, really, it was pretty early that the referee should have been calling that one back. At halftime, 5 shots, 3 on target, 42% possession for Valencia. 4 shots, 3 on target, 58% of the ball for the Isle of Man. Passionately, we're going to say this is a great opportunity to show the pundits they're all right to back you up, and everyone's responded positively, which is great. I don't think we need to change anything tactically. 1-0 is fine as a result goes, and we've had a couple of chances. We've got a corner here as well. Mateo goes short to Castro. Can he find a cut back from the byline? Esteban's there and he goes to strike himself. I think it was going wide, but Bebeto with a good save and holds. Highlight might be continuing here as well. Long ball forward towards Becker. Someone's got to go to him. Carlos Andre with a good header, but it's only as far as Diego Enrique, the overlapping fullback. Mateo closes him down well. Dobric back to Enrique. Backstick ball to Juanjo Castro, and that might have clipped the crossbar on its way over, but warning signs coming for Valencia. If we see any more highlights before the hour mark, and actually as I say that, we're at the hour mark now, we'll see how this highlight goes, and we might make a tactical adjustment or at least a couple of subs. Ball with Carlos Andre, gets it back from the throw-in, gets into the box, and the drive is a pretty tame effort to be fair. We're going to hit pause, we're going to make some changes, and we might also move to our attacking structure. Let's try and press the advantage a little bit more. Mateo will come off. We'll work Harold back into full fitness, hopefully, with 30 minutes. And Rivera's not had a great game either. We might bring on Martinez and switch he and Schaefer in the forward roles. Tell them we've got faith in them, just to hopefully give them a bit of a boost. And then we're also going to use a get creative shout, just to hopefully inspire everyone to create a second opportunity. A second goal kills the tie. Castro, backstick ball towards Henri. It was well over the crossbar though. Just can't see Valencia scoring 2 or 3 goals away from home against us, given what they've displayed in this game. Castro, wide free kick again. It's Bebeto again with a good save. He's come out well and claimed crosses with authority all throughout the match. Valencia trying to get forward now. Bebeto goes long. Carlos Andre with a good header finds Castro. Now Santana, who's picked up a yellow card, will have to be wary of that. He loses the ball in midfield, and it's a long one forward to Saidi. Abdesamadi goes to the round like he's not even there, and then thankfully his wide shot just clips Mancini but goes into the side ending. I think it was missing regardless. Pomares with the corner. Mancini comes out and saves. Is that the end of the highlight, or are we going to see a counter-attack? No, we don't. The highlight comes to an end. And we're through 80 minutes, so we're going to hit pause again. We're going to make that last sub. I'm going to take off Santana just because of that yellow card. Bring on David Lind as the box-to-box player. See if we can't get a good performance out of him. He's chipped in with some crucial performances off the bench and in the squad. And really now we just need him to try and see out this advantage for the last few minutes. 3 additional minutes to be added on at the end of the 90, and we're through that time now as the referee calls full time. 8 shots, 5 on target, 39% possession for Valencia, 17 shots, 8 on target, 61% of the ball for the Isle of Man, and a 1-0 victory. Very, very important result. Assertively, we're going to say, good win, boys, well done, and everyone's responded perfectly, which is what we want to see. In other results, Marseille have taken a surprising lead against Barcelona. Henri Blaise, of course, that Henri Blaise that was previously at Liverpool, he was sent off for Barcelona since making his big money move at the start of the season. That away goal could be telling. United beat Schalke 2-0 to go ahead in their tie. Man City beat Real Madrid 2-1, which sets up a very interesting second leg, as does Chelsea's game. They actually lost 2-1 away from home. It was a late goal from Misbah, bringing them a consolation effort. Bayern Munich take the lead against Juventus 2-0. Atletico Madrid, the lead against Roma 2-0 as well. Bruno Castro gets some man of the match award. He had some very good set-piece deliveries. A 7.7 match rating isn't setting the world on fire. Imanol Alguacil, who's the Barcelona manager, is apparently looking at Uli Schaefer. We'll see what sort of bid they come forward with. I can't imagine we'd sell him for any reason. But we did sign him on a free transfer, so we wouldn't be losing out too much. We are going to give everyone a rest day, I think, and we might try and get Paul Harold through the game against Leeds away from home, just to mix it up a little bit. Only 3 days before that match. But we are going to play that one off screen, which means magic of editing. We're now going to jump forward to the second leg against Valencia and go through the squads. All right, and just like that, we are a couple of weeks ahead. Now, we should probably go through our results because they've been a bit up and down. We, of course, won the first leg 1-0 against Valencia. We then drew 0-0 with Leeds in what was perhaps a bit of a warning sign. We didn't have any players except our goalkeeper get beyond a 7.0. So I've got to keep an eye on stuff like that before we go into the next match. We did beat Moneybags Brighton 1-0. Paul Harold coming off the bench and getting an 88th minute winner in a fantastic performance for him. But again, a few struggled. Schaefer's been in a poor run of form. Mateo not playing particularly well on the left wing. Rivera also struggling up top. We then lost 2-1 away to Newcastle. We had 100 chances to win this one and just couldn't really make the most of them. They went 2-0 up. We did pull 1 goal back through Ruben Martinez after making some subs, bringing him off the bench. Again, Schaefer struggling. Again, Rivera not playing particularly well. So we did rotate, gave Martinez a start and played Yusuf Balde, and he got a 6.7, so not great, but not horrible. Martinez didn't play terribly, but missed a penalty, so naturally that destroyed his match rating as we beat Leeds 1-0 in the FA Cup, which puts us through to the quarterfinals where we will play Manchester United. And it does set us up kind of in a weird little run of form, a defeat in there, a draw in there. We do still sit top of the division. What has kind of saved us a little bit is that City also lost a game against Manchester United during that little run. So we're only 5 points clear now due to that drawn game, but it's not horrific. It's not like they're kind of on a relentless run and catching us really quickly and we're under huge pressure to not drop any future points. As we look forward in our schedule as well, like we've got Chelsea coming up, which is a big game. Liverpool away will be tricky. Arsenal is another big match. They're currently in 4th. But otherwise, they're winnable games like Norwich, Southampton, Watford, Everton, Bournemouth, Villa. Like we could be winning all of those games relatively easily. That may be more challenging if we're juggling Champions League football and FA Cup finals and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, we're not panicking just yet. Let's put it that way. Looking at the squad, though, we do have pretty much a full-strength lineup of our little pick from. I'm going to bring Rivera and Schaefer back in. You look at them the last 5 games, 6.64 for Schaefer, 6.52 for Rivera. It's not great, but still their average ratings for the season are good. I'm hopeful that dropping them from the starting lineup for the last game kind of gives them a bit of a kick in the ass and they start, hitting their rhythm again, start finding the back of the net, start getting some of the great match scores that we know that they're capable of. That's the idea in my head. We'll see if it works. Martinez is on the bench if we need him just in case, but otherwise it's pretty much a full strength lineup. Just the one change with Harold able to now start from the first leg, which is always good to see. Be interesting to see playing away from home if Valencia change their structure or their style at all. It's the same shape, 4-3-3, and it's most of the same players. Dobric in midfield, Castro on the left wing, Saidi up top. I think Guillaume might be a new face on the right-hand side. His name rings a bell. I'm not sure why, though. He's been at Valencia for quite a while. 3-star current and potential ability right winger from France. Well, he's a left winger by trade, actually, and they're playing him over on the right. 1 cap to his name for the French international. Defensively, they look the same. They're playing 2 fullbacks on defence, so I don't think they're going to get too further forward in wide areas. Hervé Push, 4-star current and potential ability, 28-year-old French international, 53 caps to his name. He looks decent, but nothing super spectacular. Be interesting to see how he gets on. But I do think it's a side that we beat, and we beat them pretty comfortably 1-0. We are going to go attacking at home, be a little bit more aggressive. The best defense is a good form of attack, as they say so very often. But I think if we get an early goal, it's probably going to settle everyone's nerves and hopefully help us push through to the next round of knockout stages. Good ball in there from Gabriel. It's pinballing around. Dobrich clears it long. Esteban should get there unchallenged and has time to pick out the right pass. Good ball into Henri. Now across to Santana. We're working this left to right. It looks like he's gone back to the right-hand side. Castro's there. Lucas Gabriel stayed forward, but the switch is out to Harold on the left-hand side. Can beat a man. Backstick ball to Rivera. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Pablo Rivera getting back into goal-scoring form with his 15th goal of the season. A lovely ball in there from Harold. And he just peels off the shoulder of the defender at far post and pretty much just nods home wide open from 6 yards. That switch there from Henri was phenomenal. And Harold hangs it up to a great area. Rivera just nods it home. He really just had to get it back on target. There was no chance for the keeper. And the defending, to be honest, was pretty poor as well. We're going to quickly just switch this back to Champions League view because there's a couple of tasty fixtures in there. Barcelona having to overturn a deficit. Chelsea having to overturn a deficit. Just I say that, Barcelona do score at home. Castro, wide free kick towards backstick of Decimar's there. It's pinballing around and they managed to save it just on the line. But Beto had a very good game in the first leg. It'll be interesting to see if he carries that form on in the second. Real Madrid looking to overturn a deficit. PSG have taken a lead against Inter. There's a lot of football still to be played around the grounds. Good backstick ball there. It's found Juanjo. Castro very much, I'm not going to say against it on a play because we haven't had 100 highlights or anything. But the first highlight we've seen is a short throw-in routine. Back to the thrower. It's a deep crossfield ball in, and we just lose track of everyone. Castro peels off the shoulder and slams that one home for what does feel like pretty much their first real shot of the tie thus far. Deep free kick now as well. Dobrich to take. Gabriel lets it run. Mancini comes out and claims. Now, can we get a goal in transition here? We have gotten out a bit quicker than them, but we're slow on the release. Ball out now, wide right to Castro. Brings it under control well, beats the first man. He's got Rivera in support if he can find him. Instead, he goes to strike himself from the wide area. Pretty tame effort, to be fair. I think even if it was on target, the keeper would have had that one covered. Gabriel with the throw-in. Finds Henri short. Cut back to Castro. Towards backstick. Schaefer was there. It's put back in by Santana. We're pinballing it around and eventually falls to Arnaud Henri, who slams one into the top corner from a tight angle. It's a very, very good finish. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. I think Santana got a touch on it. I think Schaefer knocked it around a couple of times. Castro with the first ball in. It's headed away. Santana puts it back into Schaefer, who knocks it down for Henri, and he just absolutely rifles that one on the half volley back across the goalkeeper into the far corner. A wonderful strike for his 5th goal of the season. City still up on aggregate against Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid well up against Roma. Man United up away from home as well against Schalke. Bayern still up on aggregate against Juventus. So some big names will fall. But so far, so good for us. We're not going to be one of them. So 2-1 at halftime, 16 shots, 9 on target, 62% possession for the Isle of Man. 4 shots, 3 on target, 38% of the ball for Valencia. Assertively, we're going to say very pleased with your performance. Keep it going, lads. And then we're also going to resume the second half. Throw-in now, left-hand side. It's a poor throw-in. It's pretty much giving the ball straight back to Valencia. And we're going to have to be wary of them on the counter-attack. Too many away goals can kind of come back to bite us relatively quickly if they do make this 2-2. It kind of puts more pressure on us to then stop it from going to 3-2. Good header there from Abdesamad though. Henri, back to Abdesamad now into Harold in a good little pocket of space. He's got an overlapping running out here on the left. Schaefer does very well to find Carlos Andre. Can he get a good ball back across the box? Castro's back post, and I think this is going to get ruled out. Rivera might have gotten a touch on it. The linesman hasn't moved, and I think they have brought it back for a trip on one of the defenders there for Rivera, but it was a good header from Costa. Oh, Castro. I don't even have a player called Costa. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. We are through the hour mark though, so let's go and hit pause and tactically just have a look at where we're at. Santana's not had the greatest game. We'll bring on Hisham Haji. Esteban's not playing particularly well and is also on a yellow card, so we might bring on Jamie Warburton just to try and shore things up. Never good when 2 or 3 defenders are kind of on yellow cards. We're also going to use the Get Creative shout with about 30 minutes remaining. We want to try and keep the ball. We want to try and limit their chances. Throwing, left-hand side. Carlos Andre finds it short to the substitute Haji. First we've really seen from him. Goes on a good run and then puts the strike straight at Bebeto. And we're into the last 10 minutes and we've got one more sub up our sleeve. We're going to look to make that now. Saying Mancini's not played particularly well. They're also saying Schaefer hasn't had the greatest game. I thought Schaefer's been better. I thought he was very good in the build-up to that first goal. The second goal. He laid it off quite nicely for Arnaud Henri. But we'll make that change and we'll use Demand More shout as well. Saidi to Jovanovski here. Good recovery there from Haji. He's been busy since he came off the bench. He's got a lot of work to do wide right area, and he goes to strike himself. Bebeto pushes it over for the corner. Maybe would have liked to have seen him get to the byline and try and slam something back across the 6-yard box for people to tap home, but, beggars can't be choosers. Wide free kick, Pomares to take towards back post. It's a good save from Mancini. Tell you what, with 4 minutes of additional time, that header would have been very interesting. But we're through additional time now. Referee calls full time. We're winners 2-1 on the day and 3-1 on aggregate. 23 shots, 15 on target, 61% possession for the Isle of Man. 7 shots, 4 on target, 39% of the ball for Valencia. I'm just going to calmly tell everyone, a good win, boys. Well done. And let's hopefully keep this morale back up towards the top as we get into a very, very busy and hectic run of fixtures. Looking at other results, Barcelona go through comfortably against Marseille. They overturned a first leg deficit. Chelsea go through on away goals against Feyenoord, also overturning a first leg deficit. Inter left it relatively late to beat PSG. I say relatively late, 22nd minute, 42nd minute, but they did go behind to an early goal. Real Madrid have overcome a first leg deficit, beating Man City 3-0, which is ridiculous. Hopefully that doesn't give City additional opportunity to now focus on the league, because we need to hold on there. Atletico go through against Roma, but it was tighter than perhaps first thought. And Man United go through against Schalke after a 2-2 draw in the second leg. Bayern eliminate Juventus. So that's going to make it a very interesting second round draw. Arnaud Henry gets the man of the match award for his fantastic goal. We'll tell him he was superb in the number and quality of chances created. I couldn't tell him his goal was fantastic, but it was. Now, looking forward, where is the draw for the next round? Champions League quarterfinal and semi-final draws are actually next Friday, which means we've got the game against Chelsea in that time. So, Magic Betting, we're going to skip past that. We're going to come back for the Champions League semi-final, or quarterfinal or semi-final? Quarterfinal and semi-final draw. That's right. They both happen at the same time. Magic Betting, though, we're going to jump forward to that now. All right, just like that, we're a couple of days further ahead. We beat Chelsea 2-0 in a very good performance, which keeps us on track to a league title. We're still 5 points clear of City with 8 games remaining to play. Very, very big win in that one. And we've got now, tomorrow, another huge game with Manchester United in the FA Cup quarterfinals. The expectation from the board is that we make the final of that competition. So that will be very interesting depending on what the result goes or how that result plays out. But first, we've got the quarterfinal and semi-final draws for the Champions League. We're going to watch them both. We're just going to set this to automatic. It always delays that second longer. Actually, it just brought us out of the hat first up. We're going to be playing against Barcelona. Fantastic. No, that's fine. I mean, look, all the sides that are still in this competition, Inter Milan, Man United, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea and Real Madrid, they're all big teams. There wasn't a minnow really in this group that we could have hoped to draw. And I guess the benefit is that if we knock Barcelona out, that's one less big team in the competition. We're going to see the likes of Manchester United, Inter, Atletico, Bayern, Chelsea and Madrid drop out. It will be a very busy Final Four as well. So Barcelona will definitely be the focus of tomorrow's episode. Those games aren't till April, so we will be jumping forward just a little bit. We're also going to now watch the semi-final draw to see who we may potentially play later in the week. United or Inter draw FC Isle of Man or Barcelona. So we're going to play Barcelona in tomorrow's episode, and if we get through that, potentially we'll be playing Manchester United or Inter Milan in the Champions League semi-finals as we look to defend our continental crown. Looking forward to our schedule. It does mean, is the quarterfinal, where's the first leg? It just says the second leg. Is there a first leg happening at any point? Or have Barcelona just been awarded a win in that one? Alright, maybe we jump forward just a tiny little smidge, see if it shows us the right fixtures. It does now. Okay, so it does mean we're going to play the FA Cup quarterfinal off-screen against Manchester United. We're going to play Norwich off-screen, and then in tomorrow's episode, we're going to play the first leg against Barcelona. We'll play the away match against Liverpool off-screen, and then we're going to play the return leg against Barcelona as well. This week's effectively just going to be focusing on the Champions League and defending that crown, with the league effectively going according to plan as far as we're concerned. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. The continued support on this series and on the channel blows my mind every time that I look at the views that we're getting consistently on each episode, the amount of new subscribers that we're consistently getting each week. I really do appreciate a tremendous amount. If you want to help celebrate, the release of FM20, the continued growth of this series, the continued growth of FC Isle of Man as a club, you can drop a like on this video, or you can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our videos as they continue to release Monday to Friday through to FM21. I realised as I said that, we're uploading this episode a day late. So, shit's going to happen between now and the end of the year, but we will work through it and we will get you guys the content that hopefully you're enjoying as much as humanly possible. As always though, I've been Sean. I'll see you all again in the mixer.